Hey guys, hope you're holding up okay. Back for first story of week number friggin' 5. So this is a story about how I came to officiate a $100,000+ wedding of my brother and now sister-in-law in Manhattan. So Crystal and I got married in 2005, very young. She was 21 and I had just turned 23. And then the following spring, my oldest brother Jesse, who lived in New York at the time, was taking his girlfriend Allison to St. Lucia. And so we went, we knew he was going to ask her to marry him, and we knew she was going to say yes, or we were pretty sure. So anyways, when they got back, they called, and he was like, hey, we just want to say I asked Allison to marry me, and she said yes, we're all very excited and all this, and so I'm just like super excited for my brother and whatever, and he goes, and we don't want to have like a judge do the wedding, but we're not super religious people, so we were wondering if you wanted to do the wedding. And I thought it was like a joke, so I was like, yeah, sure, of course, whatever you want. So the next day they call me on like they weren't in the same place when they came back. She was living in Boston at the time, so they call me on like a joint call, and she's like, hey Brian, I just want to say we're really excited for you to do our wedding. And I was like, oh crap, this is real. So I end up saying yes, and we're gonna figure this out. So they're getting married in September, so we fly out in July, and we get everything planned out. We go to the like wedding planning day, and we're doing a food tasting, and they have like an official wedding planner lady, and she's like, so how many weddings have you done in your life? And I've been like a goofball the whole day, like I am, and I'm like, oh, this is my first. And she's like, oh, good luck. So anyways, this lady ends up leaving like 2 weeks before the wedding, so whatever, I win that round. So we do this tasting, which I ate like the most food anyone's ever eaten in their life. And we get everything kind of planned out. Well, I have to get ordained, so it's pretty easy. You can go online, and so I go to this Universal Life Church, and I get ordained. So we get to like a month within the wedding, and I actually go look in New York State, and they do not accept Universal Life Church. So now I'm freaking out because I'm not ordained, and so I go through this Rose Ministries. Well, I have to wait for like the paperwork to come in, and we're leaving on Tuesday to go out there for the wedding, and it is Saturday, and I check the mail, and it's not there yet, and I'm starting to freak out. So it's Sunday afternoon. I check the mail on like 8 p.m. on Saturday, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go check the mail. And Crystal's like, there's nothing gonna be in there. So I go check the mail on Sunday afternoon, and it's there. So I have this Rose Ministries thing. So when I get to New York, I have to go to like the courthouse and get all this stuff figured out. So we get out to New York, and we're planning everything, and I go to Rose Ministry, so I'm good to go. They're going to get married on that day, and I'm actually allowed to do it. So we go to the rehearsal dinner, and my brother is like 27 or 26, and he's does very well. He's in finance, and there are a lot of like young urban professionals, some yuppies. They're all make good money, and it's just an interesting crowd of people that are very, very successful, went to Ivy League schools or whatever. And so we're at the rehearsal dinner, and I'm up there telling people what to do and whatever. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing up here? So we do all this stuff that night, and we come back for the wedding. And so it's like an East Coast wedding. If you've ever been to one, it takes like a very long time. So how it's set up is the wedding's upstairs, and there's like these curtains, and all the tables are pushed back. Well, after the wedding's over, I'm gonna go downstairs. And then they'll pull those curtains back, set up all those tables. You go downstairs for cocktail hour, and then you'll come back up for dinner and all the other ceremonies. So we do the wedding, and it goes off very well. And I've never been as nervous as I've ever been in my life. So I'm just kind of freaking out up there. So I do the wedding, whatever. Well, I announce the bride and groom, and the bridal party goes down, and everyone clears out. Well, I just go back like right by where I was working, and I sit down on this chair, and I put my head down like this, and I honestly think I put my head down for like 30 seconds. And this guy taps me on the shoulder, and I look up, and he says, hey, we got everything set up. We just need that last chair. So I look up, and they've set up the entire room. So I've been sitting here for minimum 25 minutes, and I thought it was 30 seconds. So there's been cocktail hours been going on downstairs. So I finish, I go downstairs, and people are like, where have you been? Where have you been? And I was like, I was just gathering myself up there. And so I go down cocktail hour and whatever. Well, we're going to take some pictures, and I'm like, also kind of part of the bridal party. So we go outside to take pictures, and Allison, Jesse, taking pictures, and all the bridal party. Well, they're taking some pictures of just Allison, and this homeless guy comes by, and he's like, oh, that's a good looking lady. And we're like, thanks, man, thanks. She's like, thank you. And then he just like stays there, and it gets super creepy, and he's like, like just, oh, she looks so good. Like it was like so weird, right? So me and the best man, Ben Watson, walk over there and like, hey man, they're trying to do their wedding pictures. Is it all right if you just move on? And he's like, well, what the hell? I'm just here complimenting a bride. Can't give any compliments anymore in this day and age. And we're like, dude, just move on. So we get this guy to move on, whatever. And we go back in for the reception. Well, I'm a decent public speaker or whatever. So a bunch of Jesse's friends, none of them, they hadn't got married yet and whatever, because most people who are doing well professionally at that age like to wait until their later 20s or 30s or whatever. And so they're like the first couple in their group to get married. And so Jesse texts me like, I don't know, a week after the wedding. He's like, dude, everybody that's at the wedding is now saying, man, I want to have a friend do my wedding, or my brother, or all this stuff. And Jesse was like, well, just make sure they can actually public speak, because it could be a real shit show if not. So anyways, I performed a wedding at 24 years old, and it went off pretty well. Haven't done one since, and I've never been so nervous to public speak in my life. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'll have another one here for you later on in the week. All right, love you guys.